Life, my friends, is going to test you. It's going to challenge you in ways that will make you feel like giving up is the only option. We all know that. But it's in those moments, in the darkest of hours, that your true strength is revealed. You see, the world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your dreams. But it will test you relentlessly. It will knock you down time and time again. It will hurt you, frustrate you, and make you question every step you've taken. But that's exactly when you need to rise, stronger than before, stronger than you ever thought you could be. You have to understand that life is a series of moments, and how you respond to those moments defines who you are. The challenges you face today, the setbacks you experience tomorrow, they're not meant to break you. They're meant to shape you, to refine you. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is a lesson. Every disappointment is a detour that's leading you exactly where you need to go. And the pain? The pain is temporary. The growth you experience from it, that lasts forever. You're not going to win every battle. You're not going to get everything you want right away. That's just the way life works. But there's one thing you can control: your mindset. The way you approach each challenge, each obstacle, each disappointment, that is entirely in your hands. And that's where your strength lies. In your mindset. The world is filled with people who are afraid of failing, afraid of being judged, afraid of taking risks. And it's easy to get caught up in that fear. It's easy to let it paralyze you, to make you think that playing it safe is the way to go. But let me tell you something: fear is the enemy of progress. Fear is the thing that will hold you back from living the life you were meant to live. And if you allow fear to dictate your every move, you'll never know what you're truly capable of. Now, I'm not saying that fear won't show up. It will. But when it does, you've got to face it. You've got to stare it down and say, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not going to let you control my life. Because once you do that, once you take that step forward despite the fear, that's when you unlock your true potential. That's when you find out who you really are. Not when everything is going smoothly. Not when life is easy, but when you rise in the face of adversity. Let me tell you, a secret: life doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care about the work you've put in or the sacrifices you've made. Life will throw curveballs when you least expect it. It will give you obstacles that you don't feel prepared for. And it will knock you down at the most inconvenient times. But what matters, what really matters, is how you respond to those moments. Are you going to stay down? Are you going to give up? Are you going to let that one setback define you? Or are you going to rise? Are you going to dig deep and find the strength inside you to get back up no matter how many times you've fallen? That's the question you need to ask yourself every single day. When life hits you, when it knocks the wind out of you, when it makes you feel like you can't take another step, what will you do? The key to rising strong is understanding that this isn't about avoiding failure. This isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. Life is messy, it's complicated, it's unpredictable, but it's also beautiful. And the more you embrace the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the easier it becomes to keep going when things get tough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. What you do have to do is get up every time. Without fail, you have to get up. You've heard it said before, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. And let me tell you, that's the truth. Life is going to try to take you out. But as long as you keep rising, you're not done. And you're not alone. None of us are. We all have our battles. We all have our struggles. But the beauty of it all is that we get to rise together. We get to support each other, encourage each other, and remind each other that we're stronger than we think. Now, don't get it twisted. Rising strong doesn't mean you won't experience pain. It doesn't mean things will always be easy. It doesn't mean you won't face moments of doubt. It just means you don't give up. It means you keep going. Even when it feels like the world is against you, it means you keep fighting, even when you don't feel like you have the strength to keep going. Because in those moments of struggle, in those moments of pain, that's when your true strength is forged. The world will try to convince you that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, that you don't have what it takes. But don't listen to it. The world doesn't define your worth, you do. The value you place on yourself is the value the world will see. So when the world tells you to quit, when it tells you that you're not enough, you stand up tall and you say, I am enough. I am worthy. I have what it takes, and you rise. You rise for the people who are counting on you. You rise for the ones who look up to you. You rise for yourself. Because you owe it to yourself to show the world just how strong you are. You owe it to yourself to prove that no matter how many times you fall, you will always rise stronger, better, wiser. And as you rise, remember this: success is not defined by the number of times you win. Success is defined by how you handle the losses, how you respond when things don't go according to plan, how you pick yourself up after you've been knocked down. Success is about resilience. It's about the ability to keep moving forward no matter how many setbacks you face. There will be times when you feel like you're walking alone, when the road is long and the journey is hard. But even in those moments, you have to remember that you're never truly alone. There are people who believe in you. There are people who are rooting for you. There are people who need you to keep going. So when you feel like giving up, when you feel like throwing in the towel, just remember that your struggle is not just yours. It's part of something bigger. It's part of your purpose. It's part of your story. And your story is far from over. As long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you have strength in your body, your story is still being written. So don't stop now. Don't quit. Keep going. Because the best chapters are still ahead of you. The greatest victories, the greatest triumphs, the greatest moments of your life, they're all waiting for you. But you've got to rise. You've got to rise strong. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to let the weight of the world crush you. But in those moments, you have to remember who you are. You are a warrior. You are a fighter. You are someone who has been through the fire and come out stronger on the other side. You have survived every challenge you've faced so far, and you will survive every challenge that comes your way in the future. Because that's who you are. You are a survivor. You are a warrior. You are strong. So when life comes for you, when it throws everything it's got at you, don't back down, don't shrink away, stand up tall, take a deep breath, and rise. Because the world is waiting to see what you're made of. The world is waiting to see how strong you really are. And when you rise, you'll not only prove to the world what you're capable of, you'll prove it to yourself. And that's the most important thing of all. Life is unpredictable. It throws curveballs when you least expect it, challenging your plans, your dreams, and sometimes even your very belief in yourself. But here's the truth: it's in these moments of adversity that we discover the greatest potential for growth. It's in the toughest times that we find out who we really are. We all have moments where it feels like life is weighing us down, but it's important to realize that adversity isn't a sign of weakness or failure. In fact, it is the very fuel that can propel us toward greatness. If we only ever faced smooth roads, we would never learn the value of resilience. Without struggle, there would be no reason to develop the inner strength required to navigate life's deeper challenges. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when we push beyond our limits, when we are forced to confront our fears, our doubts, and our weaknesses. We don't grow because everything is easy. We grow because we learn how to rise when things get difficult. Adversity is the great teacher of life. Every obstacle that comes our way carries with it a lesson that we cannot learn in ease. Every setback, no matter how painful, brings us a step closer to who we are meant to be. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about embracing it as part of the process. The pain is the catalyst for change. It's through facing and overcoming the tough times that we discover our true potential. Without those challenges, we would never understand the power of perseverance, the importance of grit, or the value of patience. The first step in embracing adversity is changing our perspective on what challenges represent. Too often, when faced with difficulties, we want to give up. We feel overwhelmed, discouraged, and hopeless. It's easy to get lost in those feelings, especially when the road ahead looks impossibly hard. But instead of seeing adversity as something that works against us, we need to see it as an opportunity to grow stronger. It's a chance to test our limits, to rise to the occasion, and to prove to ourselves that we can overcome anything life throws our way. When we begin to see adversity as fuel for growth, we stop feeling like victims of our circumstances. Instead of letting our problems define us, we start defining our problems. We approach them as challenges to be conquered rather than obstacles that will crush us. The process of overcoming adversity requires resilience, determination, and most importantly, the willingness to continue moving forward even when everything seems stacked against us. It is this mindset that transforms adversity from something negative into a powerful tool for personal development. Think of some of the greatest achievers in history, people who faced unimaginable challenges, setbacks, and failures, yet continued to rise and succeed. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he succeeded in inventing the light bulb. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television, yet she went on to become one of the most influential media moguls in history. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. These individuals didn't let adversity stop them. Instead, they used their struggles as stepping stones to success. They understood that failure is not the end, but the beginning of something greater. They didn't let the hardships define them. They defined their response to hardship, and in doing so, they turned adversity into their greatest source of growth. There is something deeply transformative about struggle. In the midst of difficulty, we often uncover strengths we never knew we had. It is only when we are pushed to our limits that we discover the depths of our resilience, our patience, and our ability to adapt. When we face challenges, our minds are forced to shift gears, to think creatively, and to find solutions we might not have considered before. Adversity stretches us. It forces us to develop new skills, expand our emotional and mental endurance, and evolve into better versions of ourselves. But let's be clear, embracing adversity is not about glorifying pain. It's not about seeking out suffering or pretending that it doesn't hurt. It's about understanding that pain is part of the human experience, and it can either break you or build you. The choice is yours. When faced with adversity, you have two options. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it fuel you. The choice to rise from hardship is what separates those who succeed from those who remain stagnant. It's not the absence of struggle that makes someone strong, but the way they respond to it. A key part of this process is learning how to embrace discomfort. Most people naturally want to avoid discomfort at all costs. It's in our human nature to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But the most significant growth happens when we step out of our comfort zones. It's only when we push ourselves into the unknown that we expand our capacity for growth. Think about it. When was the last time you learned something truly valuable without facing some discomfort? When was the last time you experienced growth without putting yourself in a situation that challenged you? The truth is, growth doesn't happen in a place of safety. It happens when we dare to take risks, face fears, and push past limits. Take a moment to think about your own life. What are the biggest lessons you've learned? What are the moments that shaped you? Chances are they were the moments that were the hardest. The times you felt like giving up. The times you were tested beyond what you thought you could endure. Were the times that taught you the most about who you are. These are the moments that define us. These are the experiences that, when looked back upon, we can see were not just moments of pain, but moments of profound growth. Now, that's not to say it's easy. It's never easy to face adversity head on. The pain is real. The fear is real. The fear is real. The frustration, the anger, the confusion, it's all real. But if we run from it, if we avoid it, we miss out on the opportunities it brings. If we choose comfort over growth, we are choosing to stay stuck in a place where we cannot evolve. We become stagnant, complacent, and limited in our potential. But when we embrace adversity, we embrace the opportunity to transform. We embrace the possibility of becoming better than we were before. In the process of embracing adversity, one of the most important things we can do is shift our perspective on failure. Too often, we view failure as the end of the road. We see it as something to be avoided at all costs. But the reality is that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a necessary part of it. Every successful person, every person who has achieved greatness has failed. But they didn't let their failures define them. They let them fuel their next attempt. Every failure is a lesson, and every lesson learned brings us closer to our goals. When we stop fearing failure and start embracing it, we stop allowing it to control us. We take the power back and use it as a tool for growth. There's a certain beauty in knowing that every challenge we face is an opportunity for personal development. When we embrace adversity, we accept that the journey to success is not linear. It's not a straight path. There will be detours, bumps in the road, and unexpected obstacles. But with every challenge, we become stronger, wiser, and more capable. We learn to trust the process, to trust ourselves, and to trust that every setback is simply a setup for something greater. When you're in the midst of adversity, it's easy to forget that there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's easy to feel like the struggle is never going to end, like you'll never get past this hurdle. But remember this, every challenge you face is temporary. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it's not permanent. The strength you build from overcoming adversity is what lasts. It's what stays with you long after the storm has passed. And that strength, that's what will carry you through the next challenge, and the one after that, and the one after that. Life is not meant to be easy, and no one is exempt from facing difficulties. But the difference between those who thrive and those who fall behind is how we approach adversity. When we embrace it, when we allow it to fuel us, it becomes the very force that drives us forward. Instead of holding us back, it pushes us to become stronger, better, and more resilient. The pain, the struggle, the hardship, they are not the end. They are the beginning of something far greater. And when you embrace that, you embrace the power of your own potential. Resilience is the bedrock of human strength. It is the quality that enables us to endure hardships, to recover from setbacks, and to continue moving forward in the face of adversity. Without resilience, we would be powerless in the face of life's challenges. We would be at the mercy of circumstances, unable to push through difficulties or bounce back from failure. But with resilience, we find the courage to rise every time we fall, to stand tall after we have been knocked down, and to continue fighting when everything seems to be working against us. When we think of resilience, we often think of it as an innate characteristic, something that some people are born with and others are not. However, resilience is not a trait that some possess and others lack. It is a skill, a mindset that can be developed and strengthened through experience. It is the ability to adapt to challenges, to cope with stress, and to recover from hardships, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey, and it requires time, patience, and an unwavering belief in your own capacity to overcome. In many ways, resilience is about how we perceive and respond to the obstacles in our path. Resilience is built through adversity. It is forged in the crucible of hardship. Think about the toughest times in your life. The moments when you thought you couldn't go on, the times when you wanted to give up, when life seemed to be too much to handle. It's in those moments, the ones that test your limits, that resilience is born. In every struggle, you have a choice. You can either let the hardship defeat you, or you can rise above it. The decision to rise, to move forward despite the difficulty, is the essence of resilience. What's important to understand about resilience is that it doesn't mean that we don't feel pain. It doesn't mean that we don't experience frustration, grief, or fear. Resilience is not about suppressing or denying emotions. It is about acknowledging them and choosing to move forward anyway. Life is not a series of perfect moments. There will always be bumps in the road, moments of doubt, and times when you feel like giving up. But resilience is about how you respond to those moments. It's about understanding that while you cannot control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. In fact, one of the most important aspects of resilience is our ability to control our mindset in the face of adversity. Our minds are incredibly powerful, and they shape how we experience and react to the challenges we face. If we allow ourselves to dwell on negative thoughts, to ruminate on what went wrong, or to focus on the obstacles in our way, we will inevitably become stuck. But if we shift our perspective, if we choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth, we can turn any setback into a stepping stone toward our goals. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when life throws its toughest challenges at us. The weight of the world can feel unbearable. But this is where resilience comes in. It allows us to build strength in the midst of struggle. When we face a challenge head on, when we choose to persist despite setbacks, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. This is not just about surviving life's difficulties, it's about thriving in the face of them. Resilience also requires an understanding that failure is not the end. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher we have. Each failure, each mistake, is an opportunity to learn and grow. When we encounter failure, it's easy to internalize it and think, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed, but resilient people understand that failure is simply a part of the process. It's not a reflection of who we are, but a reflection of what we can learn. It's through failure that we refine our skills, reframe our goals, and come back even stronger. Resilient individuals don't see failure as a defeat, but as a chance to regroup, reassess, and move forward with greater clarity and determination. One of the most powerful things about resilience is that it builds a sense of self-efficacy. When you repeatedly face challenges, when you continue to rise after falling, you start to believe in your own ability to overcome anything that comes your way. Each success, no matter how small, adds to this belief. Each time you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue on, you strengthen your sense of self-worth. You begin to realize that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you. This self-confidence is not arrogance or a false sense of invincibility. It is the grounded belief that no matter what, you have the tools, the resources, and the inner strength to keep going. Resilience also involves a sense of hope. In the darkest times, hope is what keeps us going. It is the belief that things can get better, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even when the path seems unclear. Without hope, there can be no resilience. Hope is the fuel that keeps us moving forward, even when we don't know how or when things will improve. It's not about being overly optimistic, but about holding on to the belief that change is possible, that growth is possible, and that we have the power to shape our own futures. In addition to hope, resilience requires adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in an instant. Resilient people understand that they cannot control everything, and so they remain flexible in their approach to challenges. When things don't go as planned, they are able to pivot, adjust their strategy, and keep moving forward in a new direction. They understand that success is not about sticking rigidly to a plan, but about being able to adjust to whatever life throws at them. This adaptability doesn't mean giving up on your goals, but rather finding new ways to reach them when obstacles arise. The power of resilience also lies in the fact that it's contagious. When we show resilience in the face of adversity, we inspire others to do the same. Our strength becomes a source of strength for those around us. We lead by example, showing others that it's possible to face challenges with grace, determination, and hope. Resilient people don't just build themselves up, they build up those around them. In a world where so many are struggling with their own challenges, resilience becomes a collective force, a shared energy that propels everyone forward. One of the most important qualities of resilient people is their ability to seek support when needed. Resilience does not mean doing everything on your own. In fact, sometimes the most resilient thing you can do is ask for help. Resilient people recognize that they don't have to face every challenge in isolation. They reach out to friends, family, mentors, or support groups to lean on others for encouragement, advice, and strength. It takes courage to admit when you need help, and it's a sign of strength, not weakness, to ask for support when you're struggling. Resilience doesn't mean being invulnerable, it means having the ability to acknowledge your vulnerability and take the steps necessary to heal and grow. The process of building resilience is not easy, and it's not something that happens overnight. It's a lifelong journey, a continuous process of growth, learning, and adaptation. But each challenge you face, each setback you overcome, brings you closer to becoming the resilient person you were meant to be. The road is not always smooth, but the strength you gain from persevering through difficult times is what truly shapes you. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, not just survive, but thrive in the face of adversity. It is the understanding that every obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. When you build resilience, you develop the tools to handle any challenge with grace and confidence. You learn to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome, and to maintain hope even when the road ahead seems impossible. You learn to take failure in stride, to adapt to new circumstances, and to support others in their own journeys. Most importantly, you learn that resilience is not about avoiding pain or difficulty, but about how you choose to respond to it. It is the unwavering belief that, no matter what life throws your way, you have the strength to rise above it. The power of resilience is the power to continue, to move forward, and to become stronger no matter what. Strength is often perceived as something that is physical, something that you can see in the body of an athlete or the endurance of someone pushing through a challenging situation. And while physical strength is undeniably important in some areas of life, there is a deeper, more transformative strength that many overlook: mental and emotional strength. Strength, at its core, is a mindset. It's not about the size of your muscles or the amount of weight you can lift, but about your ability to handle life's challenges, to persevere through adversity, and to maintain your resolve even when circumstances seem impossible. When you understand that strength is a mindset, it changes the way you approach life's obstacles. You begin to recognize that challenges are not there to defeat you, but to test you, to refine you, and to build your resilience. Strength doesn't come from avoiding difficulty, it comes from embracing it, understanding that every hardship is an opportunity to grow and evolve. The strongest people are not the ones who are the most invulnerable, but those who are able to confront pain, fear, and doubt and rise above them. One of the foundational elements of mental strength is the ability to control your thoughts. Our minds are incredibly powerful, but they are also easily swayed by negativity. When faced with a difficult situation, our minds can quickly default to feelings of fear, anxiety, and doubt. These negative thoughts can quickly spiral, convincing us that we're not strong enough, not capable enough, or not deserving of success. But strength is not about never having these thoughts, it's about recognizing them and not letting them control your actions. The strength of your mind comes from your ability to challenge negative thoughts and replace them with positive, constructive ones. When you can consistently train yourself to reframe your mindset, to turn challenges into opportunities, and to focus on solutions rather than problems, you begin to unlock a power within yourself that can help you overcome nearly anything. Another key component of mental strength is emotional control. It's easy to let emotions take over when things are difficult. In the face of failure, rejection, or loss, it's natural to feel anger, sadness, or frustration. But emotional strength lies in our ability to manage those emotions without letting them dictate our actions. The person who can feel frustration and yet choose to keep going, who can feel fear and yet choose to take the next step, is the person who has mastered the art of emotional strength. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them, processing them, and choosing not to let them control your life. The strongest individuals are often the ones who can stay calm in the storm, who can think clearly when others are overwhelmed by emotion. Strength is also about perspective. People who develop a strong mindset understand that life is full of ups and downs. There will be moments of success, but also moments of failure. There will be times of joy, but also times of pain. What matters is how you interpret these moments. Do you see failure as the end of the road or as a learning opportunity? Do you see pain as something that will defeat you or as a stepping stone toward growth? When you shift your perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowerment, you begin to see that every challenge has the potential to make you stronger. Strength is not about never facing hardship, it's about how you approach hardship. Do you see yourself as someone who can overcome any challenge? Or do you see yourself as someone who is at the mercy of circumstances? A strong mindset also requires self-belief. It's easy to doubt yourself when things aren't going well. When you're facing failure after failure, when you're putting in effort and seeing no results, it's tempting to question your abilities, your worth, and your purpose. But strength is found in your ability to keep going even when your confidence falters. It's about trusting that you have what it takes to succeed, even when the evidence around you doesn't seem to support it. The most successful people in the world didn't get there because they never doubted themselves. They got there because they believed in their ability to overcome obstacles, to learn from mistakes, and to keep moving forward, even when the path seemed unclear. Self-belief is the foundation of strength. When you trust in your ability to navigate life's challenges, you are much more likely to succeed, no matter how difficult the road may be. Another aspect of strength as a mindset is the ability to stay focused on your goals regardless of distractions. Life is full of distractions, people telling you what you should or shouldn't do, challenges that seem to pull you away from your purpose, and moments of doubt that can make you second guess everything. But mental strength is the ability to stay focused on what matters most. It's about setting your sights on your goals and not allowing anything to sway you from your path. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending that obstacles don't exist. It means keeping your eyes on the bigger picture, understanding that the temporary discomfort you experience now will eventually lead to long-term success. Strong people are the ones who can keep moving forward, even when they don't feel like it, even when the odds are stacked against them. They don't get distracted by the noise, they stay focused on the end goal. And they trust that with every step they take, they are getting closer to their dreams. Mental strength also involves resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life is not a straight line, it's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. No matter how much planning you do, there will always be things that don't go according to plan. But the strongest individuals are those who are able to adjust to those changes without losing momentum. They have the ability to recover from setbacks quickly, to learn from their mistakes, and to continue moving forward with renewed determination. Resilience is the key to thriving in an unpredictable world. It's not about avoiding failure or hardship, but about how quickly you can get back up after you fall. People who are mentally strong understand that setbacks are a normal part of life, and they don't let those setbacks define them. Part of mental strength is also cultivating patience. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. If you always take the path of least resistance, if you always choose what is easy, you will never experience true strength. Mental strength is about being able to step outside of your comfort zone, to do the things that scare you, and to push through discomfort to reach your potential. Every time you face something uncomfortable, whether it's a difficult conversation, a challenging task, or a personal fear, you are building your mental muscle. The discomfort is what propels you forward. The person who is mentally strong is the person who can look discomfort in the face and say, I am capable of handling this. Another critical part of strength is the ability to learn and grow from experiences. Life is constantly teaching us lessons, but we often resist those lessons because they come with discomfort or failure. People with a strong mindset understand that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as an opportunity for growth. When something doesn't go as planned, mentally strong individuals take the time to reflect on what happened, what they can learn from it, and how they can do better next time. They see every experience, good or bad, as a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of themselves. Strength lies in the ability to grow from your mistakes, to use your experiences as a foundation for greater wisdom, and to continue improving as you move forward in life. Finally, a strong mindset requires a sense of purpose. When you know why you are doing what you are doing, when you have a clear understanding of your goals and your motivations, it becomes much easier to push through the hard times. Purpose gives you the fuel you need to keep going when things get tough. Without purpose, it's easy to get lost, to become discouraged, or to quit when faced with difficulties. But when you have a strong sense of why you're working toward your goals, that purpose acts as a guiding light. It helps you to stay focused, to keep your eyes on the bigger picture, and to remain mentally strong in the face of adversity. Purpose is the anchor that keeps you grounded when life gets stormy. In the end, strength is not about physical power or the absence of challenges. It's about your ability to handle what life throws at you, to maintain your focus, to persist despite difficulties, and to continue growing through every experience. Strength is a mindset, one that can be cultivated through practice, patience, and the willingness to confront discomfort head-on. When you adopt a mindset of strength, you unlock your full potential, enabling you to achieve more than you ever thought possible. It's not about being perfect or never facing struggles. It's about knowing that you have the mental resilience to overcome anything and continue moving forward, no matter what. Life has a way of throwing challenges at us when we least expect it. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a broken relationship, financial difficulties, or struggles with our own mental health, these hardships can make us feel isolated. There are moments when we feel like we are standing alone in a dark room, unable to see the way forward. In those moments, it's easy to believe that we are the only ones going through the pain, that no one can truly understand what we are feeling. But the truth is, you are never truly alone in your struggles. It may seem like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and no one else can possibly understand the depth of your despair, but that is often just an illusion created by the overwhelming nature of hardship. The fact is, everyone experiences struggles, and every person on this earth goes through difficult times. It's an unavoidable part of the human experience. What often makes us feel alone in our pain is the belief that our struggles are unique to us, that no one else has faced the same difficulties. But that couldn't be further from the truth. When you are in the midst of your own struggle, it can be hard to see beyond the immediate pain and uncertainty. It's easy to become consumed by the emotions you're feeling in the moment: fear, sadness, frustration, and to lose sight of the bigger picture. You may feel as though the world has stopped, that no one understands your pain, and that you're being left behind. But if you step back, even for a moment, and look at the people around you, you'll see that everyone is carrying some form of burden. Some may be open about it, while others keep their struggles hidden, but no one is exempt from hardship. It is in these difficult moments that we are presented with an opportunity to connect with others in a way that can be truly transformative. Our struggles, if we allow them, can teach us empathy, compassion, and resilience. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and share our pain with others, we often find that the very people we think can't understand are in fact struggling with similar issues. There is power in realizing that we are not isolated in our experiences, that others are walking through the same darkness, each of us trying to find our way through it. We all have moments when we feel lost, but it's in those moments that we can find solidarity and strength by reaching out to those who understand, and even to those who don't, because it's through sharing our experiences that we create bonds of connection that can carry us through. One of the most powerful tools we have in overcoming our struggles is the simple act of sharing. There is immense strength in vulnerability. It may feel uncomfortable at first to speak about your pain, to expose your weakness, or to ask for help. But in doing so, you open the door to connection. When you allow yourself to share your struggles with others, you may be surprised to learn that they are not only willing to listen, but that they too are carrying burdens of their own. By speaking up, you may discover that others have gone through similar experiences and they can offer guidance, support, or even just a compassionate ear. The act of being open about your struggles can create a ripple effect where others feel encouraged to share their own pain, creating a circle of support where no one has to carry their burdens alone. This sense of shared experience is not limited to the people in your immediate circle. There are countless stories of individuals who have faced unimaginable hardship and come out the other side stronger because they found solace in the experiences of others. Communities are built on shared pain and triumph, on people who have walked through the storm together and emerged with a deeper understanding of themselves and each other. The fact that there is always someone else who has gone through something similar can be a powerful source of comfort. It reminds us that we are not alone in our suffering and that there is a way through the darkness. In addition to the power of human connection, the realization that you are never alone in your struggles also comes from understanding the universal nature of hardship. Every person at some point in their life faces something that tests them, whether it's the death of a loved one, the collapse of a dream, or the experience of failure. Even those who seem to have it all together, those who appear perfect on the outside, are carrying their own silent burdens. It is easy to look at others and assume that they have no problems, that their lives are without struggle. But the truth is, everyone faces difficulties. Some are just better at hiding them than others. There is something liberating in realizing that we are not alone in our struggles. This understanding helps us let go of the feelings of shame or inadequacy that often accompany hardship. Struggles are not a reflection of our weakness, but a natural part of life. They do not define who we are as individuals. We are not defined by our pain, our failures, or our setbacks. Instead, we are defined by how we choose to respond to those challenges. When we learn to embrace our struggles and understand that they are an inherent part of the human experience, we can begin to find strength in the very things that once made us feel small or defeated. As you navigate through difficult times, remember that the journey is never meant to be walked alone. There are people in your life, friends, family, mentors, and even strangers who are willing to walk alongside you. You don't have to carry the weight of your pain in isolation. Sometimes, just knowing that someone else is there, even if they don't have all the answers, can make all the difference. There is no shame in reaching out for support. It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength and resilience. The willingness to seek help when you need it is a reflection of your ability to face challenges head-on and to continue moving forward despite them. But there is also strength in being the one who offers support to others. When you've been through your own struggles and come out on the other side, you gain valuable insight into the experience of hardship. You know what it feels like to struggle, to doubt yourself, and to question whether you'll make it through. And that makes you uniquely qualified to offer support to someone else who is facing similar challenges. Your story, your journey through hardship can become a beacon of hope for someone else who feels as though they are standing alone in their pain. By sharing your experience and offering a listening ear, you remind others that they are not alone, that their struggles are valid, and that there is a way forward. In addition to the support of others, there is also strength in embracing the power of hope. Even in the darkest moments when everything feels bleak, hope is the light that guides us. Hope is the belief that things can get better, that there is something waiting for us on the other side of the pain. It is the belief that we are not defined by our struggles, but that we have the capacity to heal, to grow, and to emerge stronger. Hope is what keeps us going when everything else seems to be falling apart. It is the reminder that no matter how difficult the journey, there is always a possibility of change, of transformation, of a brighter tomorrow. Hope is not just a passive feeling. It is an active force that requires us to keep going even when it seems impossible. When we lose hope, we give up. But when we choose to hold on to hope, we keep fighting, even when we don't have all the answers. It is this resilience, this ability to keep moving forward despite the pain, that ultimately leads to healing and growth. Hope reminds us that even in our darkest hour, we are never truly alone. Struggles can also be powerful teachers. They teach us about our own strength, about what we are capable of enduring. They show us the depth of our resilience and our ability to rise from the ashes, time and time again. Through hardship, we learn to appreciate the good moments, to find gratitude even in the smallest things. We learn to value the connections we have with others and to understand that our strength doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from embracing it and choosing to grow through it. When we experience hardship, it can feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But in those moments, we need to remind ourselves that we are not alone. We are part of a larger human story, one where everyone, at some point, faces challenges and finds ways to navigate through them. Our struggles may be unique to us, but they are shared by millions of others. And in that shared experience, we find our strength, our courage, and our ability to move forward. Through connection, empathy, and hope, we realize that we are never truly alone in our struggles. And it is in this understanding that we find the strength to rise above them.